Mga idol at kabayan, super good news! Amerika itinodo na ang pagtulong upang mapalakas ang militar ng Pilipinas. Dalawang senador ng Amerika nagain ng panukalang batas upang bigyan ang Pilipinas ng 2.5 billion US dollar o 140 billion peso foreign military financing grant sa loob ng 5 taon. Sapat na ito upang makakuha ang Pilipinas ng hindi bababa sa 20 mga fighter jets. Kabilang sa mga depensang gustong palakasin ng Amerika ay ang coastal defense, long-range fire at integrated air defense ng Pilipinas at marami pang iba. Wow! China, kabahan na dahil sinabi mismo ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. na kapag merong nasawi na Pilipino dahil sa pagiging agresibo ng China sa West Philippine Sea, ito ang magiging dahilan upang i-invoke ang US-Philippines 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty.
If any Filipino serviceman is killed by an attack from any foreign power, then that is time to invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty.
Oil at gas exploration, gagalugarin ng Pilipinas kahit na ito ay nasa area na inaangkin ng China. Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. ang tapang. Oil at gas exploration sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China, malabo nang mangyari pa.
When we say that we would like to explore, they insist that these areas are in Chinese territory, and therefore Chinese law must prevail. We, of course, do not accept that. We say this is Philippine territory and therefore Philippine law should prevail.
Kung akala ng iba na nagbibiro ang Amerika sa pagtulong nito sa Pilipinas para maging malakas, pues nagkakamali sila. Dalawang senador ng Amerika nagain ng panukalang batas upang bigyan ng pondo ang Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program sa loob ng 5 taon. Wow na wow! Ito ay upang masiguro ang mas pinalakas na alyansa ng Pilipinas at Amerika sa patuloy na pagiging agresibo ng China sa South China Sea. Ang panukalang batas na may pamagat na Philippines Enhanced Resilience Act of 2024 ay inihain ng dalawang senador ng Amerika na sina Senator Bill Hagerty at Senator Kim Kaine. Mga kabayan, alam nyo ba na nakakalula ang halagang ng pondo na gusto nitong ipagkaloob sa Pilipinas? Ayon sa nakasaad, 500 milyong dolyares o katumbas ng halos 28 billion peso foreign military financing grant taon-taon simula taong 2025 hanggang taong 2029 ang matatanggap ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ibig sabihin nito mga kabayan, sa suma total, aabot sa 2.5 billion US dollar o 140 billion peso na military financing grant ang makukuha ng sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas mula sa Amerika. Ito ay sapat na upang makakuha ang Pilipinas ng mga pangmalakasang fighter jets na kailangan nito upang tuluyang mapalakas ng bansa ang depensa nito laban sa mga panlabas na banta. Alam niyo ba mga kabayan, ang bansang Argentina ay nakakuha ng 24 na mga segunda manong F-16 sa halagang 300 million US dollar. Kasama na dito ang mga missiles at iba pa. Siguradong mas marami ang makukuha ang fighter jets ng Armed Forces of the Philippines sa Amerika dahil sa aabot sa 2.5 billion military financing grant ang ibibigay nito sa Pilipinas. Nagbubunga na ang magandang diskarte ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. pagdating sa seguridad at depensa ng Pilipinas. Ayon sa US Senate bill na ito, nakasaad dito ang mga kakayahan na ipagkakaloob ng Amerika upang mapalakas ang depensa ng Pilipinas. Kabilang na dito ang coastal defense, long-range fires at integrated air defense system at marami pang iba. Balitang Pilipinas pa rin tayo mga kabayan. China, dapat bang kabahan sa mas maliwanag at komprehensibong alyansa ng Amerika at Pilipinas? Ang hindi natin nagawa noon, nagagawa na natin ngayon. Pangulong Marcos Jr. kinumpirma na kapag merong isang Pilipinong namatay dahil sa pagiging agresibo, marahas at pagiging malupit ng China, ito ang magsisilbing trigger o basihan upang ma-invoke ang US-Philippines 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty.
My question is regarding about the West Philippine Sea and also the Mutual Defense Treaty. Despite a Yongin incident recently where some soldiers were injured, President, you said that there were no reason to invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty. So, under what conditions would it possibly be invoked?
I think Secretary Austin explained it very well. If any Filipino serviceman is killed by an attack from any foreign power, then that is time to invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty. I actually, when I spoke to him in Washington, I thanked him for making it very, very clear to everyone. And he he did precisely that. He was asked the same question that we are all asked: when do you invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty? When does it kick into action? And he said that's if a Filipino serviceman is killed because of an attack or an aggressive action by another foreign power.
I see. So, just a follow-up. So the treaty be invoked against also the patrol vessels or the maritime militias rather than the military?
Well, as long as they have actually caused casualties and it has killed the serviceman, then that whatever their designation are, whether they're merchant marine or Coast Guard or actual gray vessels or Navy vessels, it does not matter. That is an attack on the Philippines by a foreign power.
Pagdating naman sa usapin ng oil at gas exploration sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China, malabong-malabo na. Ayon kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr., gusto ng China na gamitin nila ang batas sa lugar kung saan ito naman ay sakop ng Pilipinas. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit hindi pumayag ang Pangulong Marcos Jr.
Mr. President, has progress been made on the oil and gas talks between the Philippines and China? Last year, if I'm not mistaken, both countries have agreed to resume oil and gas talks. So has progress been made? If yes, why? And if no, then why not?
Well, we always come up against the same argument, or between China and the Philippines, because when we say that we would like to explore, they insist that these areas are in Chinese territory, and therefore Chinese law must prevail. We, of course, do not accept that. We say this is Philippine territory, and therefore Philippine law should prevail. That's really where the sticking point is. Even before I came into office, that was already the situation we're in. I hear a great many optimistic reports that they're saying that we have agreed, we've come to an agreement, but I haven't really seen something that we can use to work forward. In other words, I don't really think we have a proper agreement, and it really comes down to that issue: which law will apply? And the reason that there is an argument is that China claims that these territories belong to China. We dispute that, and that's where the problem is.
Dagdag pa ng Pangulong Marcos Jr., lahat ng pwedeng mapagkunan ng liquefied natural gas ay gagalugarin ng Pilipinas, kahit na ito ay nasa area pa na inaangkin ng China, ngunit nasa loob ng exclusive economic zone ng Pilipinas. Ganyan ang Pangulo, matapang.
And as far as the Philippines is concerned, if those prospective reserves are within the EEZ, conflict area or otherwise, then any exploration should be conducted by the Philippines. So if that, however we choose to do it, if we choose to do it by ourselves, if we choose to do it in partnership with other corporations, or which we probably will be the case, because we don't have the capacity for that very large scale heavy engineering in terms of exploration, and so it is important to the Philippines that we explore those reserves and see exactly what there are and how we go about exploiting them and bringing that gas supply to the Philippines. So we are doing our best. I think we will, of course, to keep it simple. I think the prevailing term these days is pick the low-hanging fruit. So the low-hanging fruit will be those reserves that are within our EEZ, that are not in a conflict area. We'll attend to that first, and then we'll see what else that we can do. We need them all, though. We need them all. Even if we do well with the non-conflict areas reserves, we still have to look at all the others, whether they be in conflict areas or otherwise.
Laban Pinas.